Hey my lovelies, welcome again to my YouTube channel. Before I start things off, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed, to everyone who's liked, shared, and to all the comments I see down below in my other video. I love you guys for interacting, and I'm so excited about this channel, and I'm so excited that you're excited. Yay! So happy Valentine's Day to all my girls and boys who are in relationships, who are married, to all the ones with crushes, and to everyone who's single. You know, it's a month of love, and love is something that should be celebrated by all of us, no matter your relationship status. But like I said to you guys on my last video, the reason that I'm here is because I married an American. And for today's episode, you guessed it right, my husband is gonna join me and I'm gonna do a husband tag. I'm so excited for my baby to join me. He's been so supportive, motivating me behind the scenes. So it's honestly an honor to bring him on. I hope you guys are excited as I am, because we have a good episode for you. Without further ado, Mr. Van Nelson, come join me, baby. Don't act shy, bruh. This is my awesome husband, my best friend. And also today is actually our 2-year anniversary. February 14th, 2021, we got married in South Africa. A small little cute ceremony. Today is our 2-year anniversary. He really is the definition of my Valentine. Okay, and I'm his Valentine. Period. Okay, babe, do you want to introduce yourself to the people? They want to know who you are.
Who am I? I don't know.
Yo, guys, you had time to act mysterious, girl. But
My name is Keith Van Nelson. I guess I'm an actor. I guess. I don't know. The jury's still out. I model sometimes, depending on.
as you can see, there's a reason why he's a model.
Can they see? What's the reason? Anywho's, yeah. I also have a production company. I produce films. I mean, that's pretty much it. Other than that, I just post about the Lord on social media.
Yeah, he loves Jesus, and that's why I love him. He's gonna tell his version of how we met and the events that led up to that, and then I'm gonna tell my version of how we met, and then we're gonna combine it, right?
I guess it's your video.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. The boss said so. Okay, babe, so according to you, how did we meet?
So I was searching for a wife for quite some time. And in 2015, yeah, I was in South Africa. The Lord spoke to me and was like, your wife's not far from you. Little did I know she was down the street, but I didn't know her yet. You know, I was just out there for career purposes. And so, yeah, fast forward to the beginning of 2018, I was in church. And basically a pastor stopped service, and they're like, before the end of the year, you're gonna be either engaged or married. And so, because I was looking for a wife up until this point, you know, I was like, cool, where's she at? You know? Yeah, fast forward to March of that year, I get a DM from this lady right here, and she's like, yo, you in New York? And I'm like, yeah, what's crack-lacking? And then she's like, I mean, I got these tickets to this show, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm in the show, but like, you know, is you trying to come through? Because they, you know, they front row. So I was like, I don't know. I kind of got to check my calendar. So then I started looking through my calendar, and I'm like, I can move this around, move this around. I don't know.
But he had time. He had time. He's just acting.
I had nothing to do whatsoever. And I was, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing anything. Come through. You know, I pulled up. She was there. She did her thing. I watched. Fun fact, the play happened to be about the exact time period in which I was in South Africa when I got that word from God. That's what the play was actually based on. It was based on that 6-month period I was there. Crazy, right? Coincidence?
I think not.
Anyway, long story short, we met up after the performance, and we hung out like once or twice before she left, and that was it. You know, we became friends. We chatted on WhatsApp for a bit,
And Instagram.
wherever we chatted, and yeah, she hit me up in October of that year.
Yeah.
She's like, yo, what's going on? I'm like, not much, chilling, just being, you know, regular stuff. And yeah, long story short, she was like, I'm back in town. What's going on? Yeah, she was acting mad frantic. I forgot. She was tripping. Heavily tripping. And, you know, I was in a little bit altered state of mind at that moment. But the Lord quickly knocked me out of that and was like, listen to what she's saying. And yeah, she was just like, yo, I want to tell you something, but, you know, I'm afraid to. And I was like, bro, just spit it out. And she's like, I think the Lord told me I'm your wife. And I was like, silence. But then the Lord's like, yeah, that's your wife. You're her husband. And I was just like, yeah, nah, that's cool. God just told me I'm your husband. And then she's like, really? And then I'm like, yeah, you know. But if this is true, then God's gonna qualify it. And at the time, I was broke, you know. What? But I had some money that was on its way to me, and so I was just like, yeah, if I get paid, you know, before you're supposed to leave, then we'll take that as a sign from the Lord. And there's a few other things that happened, but yeah, anyway, we got off the phone that night. The Lord spoke to me and said, you're about to get paid tomorrow. The next day, I got paid from both jobs and hopped on the bus, went to go see her in DC, and the rest is history. I mean, we did have to go through a 2-year long, was it longer than 2 years? Something like that, 2.5 year long distance relationship in between then, but you know, it's just details. Okay, your turn.
Okay, so that's his version. I'm gonna start in 2015 or 16, I'm not quite sure. I was scrolling on Instagram. I hadn't been on Instagram for too long. I think I opened my account in 2014. So I didn't really have a lot of followers, and I was just following everybody. So I come across this girl that I was following. We're not really friends, but like we're
Hey, Azola.
like same hi Azola, same like thingies. So she was like, I think she was a street or fashion photographer, I'm not quite sure. And she posted a picture of him. And because I follow her, it appeared on my timeline. I saw his picture and I commented, I said, damn. And then after I commented, I followed him. This was in 2016, yeah. I followed him and then he followed me back. Close story. Now years go past, fast forward to 2018. I'm in New York. I have 2 free tickets to the fall for opening night at St. Anne's Warehouse in Dumbo. And like opening night is a thing with theater because you invite your family, you invite cool people, you know, you have to look to the gods. And photographers are there, press is there, free drink, free alcohol, free everything, free food, free life. So I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't have friends, I don't have any family here, like who do I invite? So I just randomly went on my Instagram and I'm just like kind of scrolling through. Like at this point I was willing to give the tickets to anyone because I didn't know anyone, so there were no sentiments behind it, right? So I saw his picture, and you know on Instagram like it says like your location. So his picture said New York, New York. And I'm thinking, he fine. So let me slide up in his DMs and let me see. Like I honestly didn't think anything of it. Opening night was coming close and I still hadn't found anyone. So scrolling through, I DM'd him and I was like, hey, you don't know me. I don't know you. I'm South African and I'm performing at St. Anne's Warehouse and I have 2 free tickets. You can literally bring anyone. The 2 free tickets are for you. And at first he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like I left Cape Town. I'm not in Cape Town anymore. And I was like, no, I'm from Cape Town. I'm from South Africa, but I'm in New York. And then I think like a few days later he replied and he's like, yeah, sure. I'm going to pull through with my friend. So now I'm freaking out because the DM, it worked. The DM worked. Like, and I'm like, the model, he's coming to see me. It's so crazy because I didn't think anything of it before I sent the DM. Now all of a sudden, now that he said yes, I was like, cutie patootie, yes. So yeah, so he pulled through and then he watched the performance and then he sent me a message afterwards. He's like, hey, that was amazing. Invite me on WhatsApp because we were only speaking via Instagram. So I invited him and he's waiting outside. So he was outside and then yeah, like we chilled and we were obviously within the people, took a couple of pictures, hung out and yeah. And I noticed that like he speaks about God a lot. And I found that so intriguing because you don't really get people who like unashamedly just speak about how good the Lord is in their life. And I was like, oh, I think I can hang with him. So at that point, we were both, smoking. So, and I was offering him a drink and he said he doesn't drink. So I was like, you don't drink? Oh, you got to do something. And then he was like, he smokes. So I was like, okay, cool. Pull through to my apartment and then we can chill together and, smoke. And I hadn't really met, Christians who love the Lord and who smoked at that time. It's usually you get one or the other. So I was like, the combo, fire, that's me. Love the Lord, let us smoke at that time. So yeah, we hung out a few times and then, we hung out a few times and then I left. I went back to South Africa. And then as I was back in South Africa, we were talking and not really like flirting or anything, just like really good conversation. Like mostly spoke about the Lord and like our prospects and the things that we were going through. So for me, he easily became someone like I could just rely to when I was going through like stresses, and I knew that he would pray for me because our conversations consisted a lot about like God and the experiences that we had been through, And then something crazy happened to me during that year. I went through a bit of a manic episode, but I'll get more into that in other episodes to kind of expand on that. But anyways, while I was going through this, I was in a really, really depressed area in my life. And it was so crazy because things were like popping off career-wise, but spiritually and my soul, like I was not okay. And then I was just praying to God one day and I was sitting on my bed and I was praying, just pouring my heart out to the Lord. And I heard God say, Keith is your husband. And I freaked out. I called a friend of mine. I was like, yo, this is happening. I don't know what's going on. I think the American has bewitched me. What is going on? Is it normal? Does God tell people like who they're gonna marry? Like what is going on? And I freaked out and I just kept it to myself for like a few months. I really didn't tell anyone except for the friend who I was on the phone with. and my pastor was just like, you know what, you're going through a bit of a tough time right now mentally. I suggest you just cut communication with him and heal yourself and make sure that you're really hearing from the Lord. And I did too much. I blocked him everywhere. He didn't even do anything to me, but I blocked him on Instagram, WhatsApp, everything, just block. And then I had to kind of spend some time with the Lord and really just be okay and kind of like get out of that mental state. And so I took care of myself mentally. And then I had to go back on tour with the Fall because another theater had bought our play in Washington, D.C. So I went to Washington, D.C. And then when I was there, like, it had been so heavy on my mind that, like, you're in America, you need to tell this man. Like, but in my mind, I was like, no, he's going to think I'm a loser. He's going to think, like...
I still think that.
He still thinks I'm a loser, but at least I'm a beautiful loser, so that's
She's
okay.
a winner in Christ.
I am.
But she acts like a dork. She's a beautiful dork, though.
It's okay. Okay, so went to DC, right? And then I think I was there for maybe 4 weeks. And then I called him because I was like, hey Keith, I'm in your country, what's up? And he was like, yo, what up, queen? Like, whatever, blah, blah. Then I was like, can I call you? And then he was like, yeah. And then I called him, and like he said, I was stalling, I was just beating around the bush because I just didn't know, oh my gosh, how is this man gonna take this? But before that call, I had already prayed, and I was like, if he rejects me or whatever, I actually don't care. I had to get to that point where I was like, I don't care. I still have Jesus. I still have God. If I heard wrong, I heard wrong. If I heard right, great. We'll see. So then I was like, God told me you're my husband. And then, he responded. And then obviously his side, God had to confirm it. And then he came to visit me. And then we officially became girlfriend and boyfriend on the 22nd of November, which was the day we officiated our relationship, was the day I met his parents, his family. Because time was not on our side, so things had to be fast, Then I went to go visit him because I had a Thanksgiving break, so we weren't working for 3 or 4 days. Then I went to go visit him, took a bus from DC to Philadelphia, then he fetched me, and then we went to New Jersey. And I met his whole family, and he was introducing me as his girlfriend, and I was just like, oh my God, what is happening? And then eventually I had to go back home, and then long distance started. And I don't know, how was the long distance for you, baby?
It sucked.
It sucked. Everything about it just sucked. Because we knew that we were going to marry each other before we even really officially started dating. Things like engagement and all those things, it didn't happen in the conventional sense because we also had distance that we had to fight with. So things just kind of fell into place. And then his dad is a pastor, so his dad immediately understood what he meant. And then I had to tell my mom. And then, we were I don't know, we just mashed into being engaged. Is that how you feel? It wasn't was it an official thing, or did you ask me? I can't remember.
I mean, I officially asked you in the airport.
Yes.
30 days before we got married.
Literally, guys, how crazy. We had been speaking about marriage and all of that, right? And then we knew that we were gonna get married. Even things like water negotiations and all those things happened via Zoom and FaceTime. Our parents officially met for the first time over FaceTime because distance. And then obviously with COVID, it put a lot of delay with visa stuff. And I had applied for my visa in June 2019 for my K1 visa, which is a fiance visa. So yeah, so the plan was that fiance visa, I go over there, we get married, but plans had to change. And then he had to come because Americans weren't barred from coming into South Africa, but South Africa was barred from a lot of places. Anyways, so I couldn't go over there. And then literally when I fetched him at the airport this is in 2021, literally when I fetched him at the airport, he got down on one knee and he proposed to me officially at the airport. And guess what? That was the 11th of Feb, and on the 14th of Feb, we were scheduled to get married.
Better late than never.
Better late than never, right? So I was there at the airport, and I was just like, yes, oh my God, I love you so much. Even though I had felt like I was engaged to him all that time, we just never did it like in person. And then
listen, you try asking somebody to marry you over FaceTime and tell me how it goes, and then you judge me.
And then you judge us. So you try yourself and then come here and judge us, right? So yeah, and then we got married, like a beautiful small ceremony in Timburskloof. It was like a traditional wedding. That was like our traditional wedding. I'll attach like pictures at the end. And then yeah, it was so beautiful and so intimate and just like beautiful. And yeah, and then we spent a year together in South Africa because he stayed in the like most of 2021. He was in South Africa. Listen, a lot happened, but we managed to be together for that year, and it was basically our first time in our entire relationship, like spending that much time together. So we had a lot of catching up to do. But yeah, and now here we are, 2022, the American government finally gave me my visa, and then I came here in August, and then we got married in the United States of America. When?
You don't know when we got married?
30th of October. 30th of October, we got married again, and we had a white wedding. And yeah, it was beautiful.
We had a black wedding.
Yeah, we had a white wedding, but it was a black wedding. Black.
I don't know why they call it a white wedding, but if you're American, we had a black wedding.
Yeah, so it was beautiful though. And then yeah.
All right, guys, this has been one episode of her YouTube. You love you. Peace.
No, baby. This man. The hell? Okay, so I have 3 random questions for us.
They're not random. She wrote them down. Stop lying to these people. You didn't just come up with them on the spot. They're not random. You curated these questions.
I did. So we have 4, not 3, 4 questions. Okay. What do you love most about me? That's the first one. And what do I love most about him? So do you want to go first?
No, I want you to go first.
Okay. What I love most about Keith is the fact that he like listens. Well, he listens to God, you know. And for me, I've never really been like exposed to like a lot of like people, or I'll say like men particularly, who actually go out of their way to try their best to accurately listen to the Lord and to be like, God told me this or God told me that. And at first it was something that I obviously really had to get used to. Even though I was a Christian, I still really wasn't like used to that. It's something that I've had to get used to in our relationship, but it's something that I really admire about him outside of being my husband, as just like another Christian, you know, to just be like, oh my gosh, like he really listens to God. It makes me trust his leadership, and it just makes me trust him, and knowing that I married someone who is led by God. And sometimes he gets it right, sometimes I don't know, I don't want to say you get it wrong, but like sometimes it doesn't turn out to be exactly that, but God always finds a way. But yo, that's what I love most about you.
I'm never wrong.
Oh my God. That's what I love most about him, guys. His obedience. He's very obedient. And yeah, I love that. Okay.
I don't know if I can tell them on YouTube what I love most about you. So nah, I'm just What do I love most about my wife? Well, with the risk of sounding like I'm taking her answer, I've dated. I've only been married once. Well, technically, I guess I was married twice, but I've only been married to one woman.
Oh, okay. Whew. How's the weather feeling?
I've only been married to one woman, but I've dated over the years, and I think, with the exception of maybe one other, but that didn't last long enough for me to even really like see what that was like. She's the only woman that's ever prayed for me, really. So that's probably top dog. I mean, I could talk about her cooking and cleaning skills, but I would think that most wives have that. If they don't, I don't know what to say about that. But yeah, so I think that's probably it. Yeah, she prays for me. Still coming in handy to this day.
Yeah. Wives, pray for your husbands. Girlfriends, pray for your mans, okay?
Yeah.
Friends, pray for your friends. Pray! Okay. What is the most annoying thing about me?
Oh my gosh, where do I start? So nah. I'm only half kidding, guys. I love her.
You know a joke, there's always truth to a joke.
I love her, but she's very annoying. Yo.
He's more annoying than me. Bro, I'm not annoying. I'm a vibe. This one.
Most annoying.
But.
Top level annoying.
This one. You guys know from my Instagram, hater.
An annoying thing about her is she always is fishing for compliments, yo. Always. Oh,
do you know why I do that? Because he doesn't say things fast enough. So I always have to figure the key in the engine to be like, hello, I've been standing here for too long. You haven't said anything. Say it.
Listen.
Because we both know it.
If you know it, you don't need me to say it.
But I want you to say it because you're my husband.
Again.
Okay. The most annoying thing to me about Dominic is the fact that sometimes he's like too cool for school. Like, he just always feels like everything needs to be put together. Everything needs to be, like rigid. He can be quite rigid, and very like stoic, right? That's the word. Stoic, rigid, and cool, like too composed to a fault. And sometimes I feel like I need to remind him that, hey, tomorrow's not guaranteed. Enjoy today to the fullest. Not everything needs to look a certain type of way or whatever. Like, khululeka, babe, relax. It's not that serious. So that annoys me sometimes because I just gonna be like, bruh, like, it's not that deep, like, chill.
It's that deep.
Okay. What are you looking forward to in the future?
Like in general? Or
no, like with our marriage specifically.
Well, it'd be nice when you can work because of our visa situation.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me, hey, and I'm definitely not going to edit this out. But this is a tough one for me. Because of the visa situation, I'm legally not allowed to work in the United States. And it's so hard for me because I'm a worker. I love working. I love getting paid. I love it. And now I just can't do that here. And I'm like legitimately proper a housewife, like the housewife. So yeah, he said he's looking forward to when I get to work.
Oh, man, listen, I don't mind being the primary breadwinner, but seeing as my business is just starting over the last couple of years, and my career has been enveloping more over the last couple of years. It just hasn't been super consistent. So
yeah, it's tough. So yeah, what am I looking forward to? I'm definitely looking forward to when both our like respective businesses have really grown enough that like it isn't a problem for us to really give freely to others. That's what I feel like. For me, that's when like I'm really good, when you can like literally just give freely to others and try to make other people's lives a lot easier, like our families and, you know, those people who have really supported us throughout the years. And I'm definitely looking forward to us, you know, owning our own place, having our own space. And
My place. I don't know what she's talking about.
maybe they know, they saw the credits.
They didn't see anything. This is my place.
You see what I have to deal with.
Before they find out it's not my place, before my grandma comes in here.
Oh my god, okay. So I'm looking forward to us being parents. Not now. Definitely not now. I personally don't feel like we're ready right now. I don't know about him. What do you think? Do you think we're ready right now?
Mentally, I think I'm ready. Financially, Lord knows.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Mentally, for me, I don't even think I'm ready mentally, to be honest. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to just like us spending our lives together and just doing really great things in our respective industries and just flourishing. And I don't know, like for people to like see God working in our lives. Yeah. And then the most important question of them all, what advice would you give right now to people who are looking for love, to people who are waiting for love, and to just people who are, you know, waiting to meet their husband or their wife or their spouse, whatever?
Focus on yourself. Please, bro. Please. Spend the time focusing on you on the inside. And I shouldn't have to say it, but obviously the way that God wants you to focus on yourself. Build yourself up from the inside out. Because if you do that, even if you don't have all the resources in place on the outside, what you have on the inside, your relationship with God, will carry you until you do have the resources on the outside. As opposed to somebody who doesn't do that, they do have the resources on the outside. You see this all the time. They get together and they can't maintain what it takes to even be in a relationship because there's a sacrifice involved, a huge one. So
yeah, that's good advice. My advice would be enjoy being single. Like,
did you enjoy being single?
I enjoyed my single years. Like, if you're looking and if you're waiting for a partner, that might not necessarily be an easy thing to do. But listen, when you're married, you're constantly having to think of your spouse. You cannot make a decision without considering your spouse. Every move that you make, you have to be like, it's me and this person. It's me and this person. So my advice would be enjoy your single years, okay? Have fun, take yourself out. You're waiting for someone to do things that you love. Do them with yourself. Do them for yourself. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy getting to know who you are. Like my husband said, get to know who you are. Invest on who you are inside and enjoy that. You know what? So you can give it to someone else freely without holding back, and they get to enjoy it and you get to enjoy them. Being single is an important season in your life. Do not overlook it. Do not take it for granted. And do not idolize marriage. Do not idolize anything. Always put God first. God first, everything else last. Seek the kingdom first, and all things shall be added unto you. Seek the kingdom first and its righteousness, and all things shall be added unto you. Trust me, okay? It works. And then when you're ready, God is always on time. He will send you your partner, your best friend, your lover, your spouse, and you guys will be able to grow, okay? And also, I just want to say, being single doesn't also necessarily mean like sorting out everything that's wrong with you, you know? Because some things, no, stop it. Because some things will only come to the surface when you're with someone, you know, and then those things will present themselves to needing to be healed when you're with someone because you have extra eyes, you know. So yeah, I love you guys. We love you guys. Thank you for this video, and happy anniversary to us, baby.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. And yeah, thank you for supporting me.
Love you guys.
Peace. Happy Valentine's. Yeah, I guess someone could not wait to stand up. God. And these are pictures from our wedding back in South Africa with my family, my pastor, and my friends, and my husband's family was able to join via Zoom. I hope you enjoyed. See you on the next episode.